Hey y'all, it's me, Zhanae Janae, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is going to be another video of me talking through a topic with y'all. I know my head looked dry, ignore it. I can't change, even if I tried. Y'all ain't got no moisturizer. So we're just gonna ignore that right now. I am going to do a video talk through about, the title's gonna be The Life of a Hustler. Basically just kind of about my life a little bit, right? So recently I did an interview with like a magazine or whatever, and it was kind of like talking about my journey and different stuff like that. And basically I have realized that I have been an entrepreneur for more than half of my life, y'all. Like when I was about 9 years old, I had employees. Don't ever act like she ain't been having her own paper. Let's get it. Come on now. We've been paid out since we was legit. You feel me? So I've always been a hustler. I've always been getting to the money. I've always been an entrepreneur, right? So life was not necessarily like that because I wanted it to be. I came to the realization that I was like that out of necessity. And me becoming like that out of necessity, I'm not gonna say that I regret anything, y'all. I honestly feel like your steps in life are ordered by God. Like if God wanted you to be living a specific type of life, or he didn't want you going through certain type of stuff, or he didn't want you meeting certain type of people or different stuff like that, then it would not happen. But for the most part, I feel like everybody's life is kind of mapped out, and your trajectory is your trajectory, and you're gonna hit some point in life, but there's multiple ways to get to that point. As they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So honestly, I became a hustler or an entrepreneur out of necessity because we was having hard times growing up, or life just was life. And when I mention that, y'all, I swear to God, I'm not looking for no sympathy from nobody. I'm just speaking honestly because I came to the realization when I was younger. My grandma used to say it, and we used to get kind of annoyed because like when you're going through something, you don't really want to hear all the time, well, other people are going through it too. Other people are going through something. Other people are experiencing something. But honestly, when you put things to perspective in life and you realize that yes, other people are experiencing something and they can be experiencing way worse than you, and you over here complaining and your life really is not that bad, then you'll realize that that's the perfect thing to hear in certain circumstances. So I'm never gonna say that what I went through was the worst thing on earth, and just please pity me, cry for me. When you see me, please throw me spare change. I'm never gonna say nothing like that. What I'm going to say though is that in my life and through my experiences, we felt like we was having it hard. So either you're going to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and figure out what you're gonna do, or you're going to succumb to your circumstances. And I chose not to necessarily succumb to my circumstances, but to pick myself up and figure it out. So honestly, on my first business, this business that I had when I was 9 years old, I had my brother's toy cars, and I made bracelets and necklaces, and I was selling them, and I was getting to the money, y'all. Like I was selling candy. Like I always done had, you know what I'm saying, full PF. I always had full pockets full. I was always getting to some type of money. But me getting into my adulthood and wanting to seriously launch a business, of course, I grew up seeing a lot of people in my family or around me be entrepreneurs, and I thought it was a beautiful thing. As I've said in one of my previous interviews, I grew up watching Beyonce concerts and admired her determination. People like Michael Jackson, people like Diana Ross paved the way for so many great people. I love filmmaking, so filmmakers like Spike Lee or Ava DuVernay, or people in broadcasting like Oprah, or somebody that is a poet like Maya Angelou, Ella Fitzgerald, Langston Hughes. I've always loved and been inspired by great Black figures like that. But for me, I have always been stubborn enough to believe that I wouldn't necessarily go through issues launching a legitimate business, because not that I felt like I was too good to do it, but I feel like when you notice all the problems that people go through around you, or you see the mistakes that they make, you feel like you won't make those same mistakes, or you feel like you won't face the same like trials and tribulations that they faced. And y'all, that is farthest from the truth. But honestly, I feel like a big thing of what I went through when I first launched my business was that, for starters, I launched it in the middle of COVID. So I don't know if y'all remember, but during like the COVID time, it was a lot of tweets and stuff going viral where people was just like, please like help a sister out. And like a tweet would go viral. I don't know if their business did well, but like people kind of was like just begging for support, or they would launch a business and it would like tee up and it looked good on social media, but that's not necessarily a sustainable business model. So I posted my business, y'all, it didn't get like no hits, but the crazy thing is, like I said, like I've grown up like living the life of a hustler. Whatever I put my hand on, I'm about to make some money off of it. Like I could sell you the shirt off your back. But hustling is not the same as running a business, building an empire, being a legitimate entrepreneur. And I feel like if you want, I saw a post the other day on Instagram, right? It said, if you want to test your faith in God, become an entrepreneur. Because 100% of the time, you're going to feel, not 100% of the time, but you're going to feel sometimes like stuff isn't going your way. You have no idea what you're doing wrong. It seems like everybody else is doing well. Hint, hint, they are not. Like, don't let other people and what they've posted or what they've said or how many sales they say they've gotten, how many clients they say they've gotten, discourage you on your journey, because everybody's journey is a different journey. And because I've known how to like get a product and like flip it for most of my life, I didn't really understand that running a sustainable business was not just flipping a product. Like I've had to learn over this time period that you really got to build a brand, and people got to want to trust you, trust and believe in you. And to an extent, I feel like even, and I never want to use it as an excuse, but I feel like as like a Black woman or Black male or different stuff like that, minority, whatever you want to call it, sometimes there is a harsher market when you're trying to go into business. People are a lot harder on you, opposed to how they would have treated Walmart or Target or something else. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they have more leeway. You don't really have as much leeway with stuff. And I do know that for the longest, I've been extremely hard on myself, and I was a perfectionist. And I had to learn to let go of my perfectionism, because that was some of what was standing in my way for a long time too. Because I had a bad habit of trying to just do too much with something and missing the time period, or not doing the correct marketing research, or not really knowing how to do the correct marketing research, just kind of feeling like anxious about something, so just hurrying up and dropping it without formulating a proper marketing strategy or different stuff like that. So everything is a learning experience. And when you look into life as, I'm going to learn from this and I'm not losing because I'm learning, then you will never fail. But you have to be patient. You have to be patient, you have to be patient. Like, patience is truly a virtue, and patience is the hardest thing that I've learned to develop, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm used to flipping and getting the money. Like, I've not really known in life what it is to be like sitting on a product and not making sales with the product, or just posting, hey, I got something, and people not really reaching out to just get it or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So running a business is a lot different than just being a hustler. Like, being an entrepreneur is all about risk taking. It's all about like you putting your neck out on the line for real. So at the end of the day, I've learned a lot from my journey in life, in entrepreneurship, all of that. But what I can say is I would not take it back at all, to be honest. I feel like it's really matured me, and I feel like it's really helped me grow in so many different ways in my life. And honestly, it just is what it is. I feel like the biggest thing for me has been, a lot of the times I might break down and be like, oh my God, it's not working, it's not clicking, what's not happening? What's not happening? Like everything's going wrong. This doesn't make sense to me. But I also have had to be inflective and realize sometimes I stand in my own way with stuff. Sometimes I'm being a perfectionist. Sometimes I am too nervous about putting stuff out because I'm worried about what people are going to say about it. And just like a multitude of other different things. So I feel like the biggest thing is you always want to hold yourself to a standard, but you can't be too hard on yourself to the point where you're consistently beating yourself up. Because if you have done it from a standpoint like me, where you were just kind of looking around you and was just kind of going off of other people's mistakes and was like, okay, well, I won't make that mistake, so that means it's going to be all good. That's not the way that it's going to go. Like, honestly, it can help you to not make that specific mistake, but you're going to have to make some mistakes at some point in time. So I feel like it's been a beautiful journey for me. And I love the fact that I know how to hustle something up quick, but I'm building a brand right now and I'm learning about myself and having to be able to adequately communicate who I am so that I can communicate my brand, and then that translates into building a customer base, a fan base, and like a loving audience as well. So I'm very happy for everybody that has been along for the ride with me, and I hope that I'm going in the right direction. Like, I will tell you every now and then, like I do slack with my praying, but I try to get better about that. I try to pray whenever I can and just hope for the best. But I do feel like no matter what, if you're consistently putting the work in, then results gotta come. Like, there's no way possible, I believe, that you're gonna keep doing something, inching towards a goal, and you just never hit the goal. The way that you never hit the goal, the way that failure is guaranteed, is if you give up and if you stop. So there's no way possible just to fail if you keep working towards your goal. And on that note, thank you all for coming back to my YouTube channel. This has been me, Zhanae Janae, and I'll see you in the next video.